Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel Easy Aviation. Here we discuss about the simple short topics about the aviation field. As you can see, today's topic of discussion is emergency flotation system or gear. Sometimes it called as emergency flotation gear system. So EFG system is a system which avoid aircraft to sink in water when aircraft ditch or crash land over the water into the sea. So these systems are very critical for the marines operations, for the aircraft which fly over the sea and do reconnaissance or search and rescue operations over the sea. So today's I'll give a little bit insight about the helicopters emergency flotation system gear. So this system is divided into 4 subsystems, as you can see on the screen. So first is EFG panel. So EFG panel is a panel which is fitted inside the cockpit and from where the pilot operates. So there are 2 major switches. First switch is on off switch. Basically it makes the system off or make the system active, or you can call it arm. And another switch is known as override switch, in which as soon as the pilot operates this switch, this is again off and then override. So in override, as soon as the pilot put the switch on override, the floats inflate. And in off and on arm switch, I'll be explaining how it activates the system. And then there is an indicator. So as soon as the pilot is putting it on arm, this indicator indicates that the system is live. So second is the immersion switch. So these are the switch, or you can say the actuators basically, which are fitted at the belly of the aircraft. So as soon as the aircraft ditch in the sea water, because of the salt water going inside these immersion switches, it makes a continuity, and which inflates the float, rather not activate, which inflates the floats. So if the pilot has put the switch on in off condition and aircraft ditches into the sea water is going in the immersion switch, nothing will happen. But if the switch is in arm position, this immersion switch will further explode the cartridge. I'll explain what is the cartridge, where it is fitted, and which in turns inflate the floats. So third is the floats itself. So I'll be making a top view of a helicopter. So as you can, this is the helicopter, tail rotor, main rotor. So generally floats are fitted in at the side of the aircraft, and which is fitted as a part of the fuselage. So as soon as the water goes in the immersion switch will let the nitrogen or any pressurized gas passes through the float, and this floats inflate, which increase the buoyancy of the aircraft. And fourth is the pressurized air bottles. As I am explaining, you could have made an idea. So there are pressurized bottles which are fitted inside the helicopter, and these pressurized bottles are fitted with a electro explosive device, EED. And these are the cartridges basically, and they are waiting for the electrical signal or the continuity which is being made by the immersion switch. And as soon as the immersion switch made the continuity, this EED explodes, which lets the nitrogen or any pressurized air into the floats, which inflates the float. So I'll be again explaining the complete system on this page. So let's see, this is the helicopter side view. This is the main rotor, this is the tail rotor, and generally the floats are the part of the fuselage which are covered by the panels. And there are immersion switch at the belly. I'll make 2 switches, 3 switches. I'll write immersion switch, and these are the floats, and there are nitrogen bottles inside. I'll make a top view also. So generally nitrogen bottles are fitted in the 2 bottles, rather 4 bottles. It differs with system to system. And here are the floats, and they are mechanically connected lines, hoses, and as soon as, so when the aircraft is flying, normally there is no issues, but as soon as some issue with the engines or the tail rotor and it is flying over the sea and aircraft is about to ditch, either pilot will, I'll make the EFG panel here. So As per the SOP, standard operating procedure, pilot always put the switch on arm rather than off. So the indicator tells that the system is live. That means immersion switch are live, and there is an override switch. So when the pilot is flying this helicopter, it's if he sees any emergencies, the two option, either he can put the switch on override and the float will inflate. Then it, once the floats are inflated, there are restrictions on the flying. Some velocity that a pilot can only fly up to particular speed. So that is one option. Otherwise, if it is flying very near to sea, there is some emergency, pilot do not have a reaction time to inflate the floats. So as soon as the aircraft hits the water, this salt water goes inside the immersion switch. Immersion switch makes a continuity which explodes the cartridges, and the nitrogen passes through these lines, hose, and inflate the floats. And that's how the and then the helicopter floats in the sea. That's how the buoyancy of the aircraft increases for some duration. Few points to note: floats are not a single balloon. It is further divided into 2 to 3 parts, so that if any of the part puncture, the buoyancy should not lost completely. And the rate of inflation is very high, is about 6 to 8 seconds. The complete float, all 4 floats inflates. And that's it. This is the system. I believe I've made the system clear. If any doubt, anything is there, please put it in comment. I'll try to clear that. Thank you.